And I'm here with, once again, Christy Dorr and Amanda Thomas. And today we are going to talk about stereotypes. Go ahead.
Okay. I was surprised, I guess not really surprised, but I don't know how to say this really, but when we talked about and looked at the stereotypes of a gifted learner, I thought, oh, that's a geek. But I never thought of it as a gifted kid, I guess, and we all were in a gifted program, so I never really thought about, like, pigeonholing it. But when you think about media and all the, for God's sakes, like The Breakfast Club and, like, all those movies.
Lucas.
Right, exactly. You pinhole, who is it? It's the white little skinny boy with his little pin protector and his little glasses. And he's the little whiz kid who's always saying those annoying little comments. And, when I watched our movie about a gifted learner, or when we started talking about that stuff, and I was watching, like, my shows like Eureka, or I saw The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Oh. Those are all those people. It's like there's nobody in that show who doesn't really fit the stereotype. So it surprised me, but yet didn't surprise me when I really reflected on it.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think?
I think it's typical for the media and people just in general to think of, if you say gifted learner, they do have that visual image of the physically awkward white boy who wears glasses.
Yeah.
Not only physically awkward, but socially awkward as well, who says the wrong thing or just doesn't communicate well with other peers, age peers. And then that's not always the case.
Yeah. Well, as I said in the last one, I was the stereotype. I reeked of nerd, but I reeked of nerdy geek, and I was a little scrawny dude. Not now, but back when I was a little kid, I was a little scrawny dude, and I wore big glasses. I had I didn't have the pop protector. I will say that, no pop protector. But pretty much everything else. I mean, like, I reeked of geek. Like, I read the encyclopedia at night. That's what I did for joy. Reading the encyclopedia. We had a whole encyclopedia set. I read it all the way from A to Z, like maybe like once or twice.
Wow.
Let me see here. I did I read books, and most of my books were kind of geeky books, like Encyclopedia Brown. Love Encyclopedia Brown.
Sci-fi fan, right?
Of course I'm a sci-fi fan. I mean, I totally fit the mold of a nerd stereotype, and the stereotype of what they would consider a gifted learner. But I mean, the funny thing was, technically, I was not a gifted learner. So.
But I kind of think that makes me think, like, back to the history of a gifted learner and why, like, how did that stereotype evolve? Because, I mean, I guess it had to all do with, think about the scientific minds of the past and how, women and people who were poor and minorities were not allowed to express those things or write those things. Or
it was rich white guys.
Exactly. And so it's kind of like, how did it evolve into that? I guess that's any stereotype. But then I'm thinking, like, I mean, everything, even the cartoons kids watch.
Like
Dexter's Laboratory. He's this little teeny nerdy white kid.
Yeah.
And it's a boy, and all the girls are bimbos.
Yeah. Oh, and they exaggerated to like the extreme in anime and Japanese anime culture.
Oh, you're right.
Oh my goodness! Like they make the women to be these ultra like bimbos, like really like airheads, like oh my god. And the guys like there's always the one nerdy guy who's like has like the big coat glasses and always is like totally socially awkward, and then there's always the hero who's like the guy who's like he's all sleek and debonair.
I thought about that recently, even in watching the show Criminal Minds. You think there's you've got and they're all obviously bright people who do what they do. But within that group, you have the handsome guys who are more physical and they chase down suspects. And then you have the kind of the geeky looking guy who knows everything, remembers everything, but he doesn't always respond properly in social situations, and he's physically not as capable.
Yeah.
They would say that he doesn't run as fast, he's not as strong,
Yeah.
but he can outthink all of them. But he has a certain look about him.
And the funny thing is that it's not even close to the truth. I mean, like, look at Amanda. Amanda doesn't fit the stereotype of a gifted learner at all. And yet she is a gifted learner. You don't fit the stereotype of a gifted learner at all.
I was a cheerleader.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't look. I wear glasses, but I wear contacts.
Me
So,
too.
so, you know, maybe
Please
I don't know
explain.
what that says about that, but I didn't look like.
Yeah.
And even in some of my classes where it was all identified gifted learners and there was no one else, people would look at me, oh, look at your little skirt, you know, and they thought maybe I wasn't as smart. I even had a teacher say that to me. Coming in uniform, she said, are you sure you're supposed to be in this class?
Wow.
And I thought, well, okay.
I'm sorry. Just because I'm wearing a cheerleader outfit doesn't mean I'm like, hi, I'm a cheerleader.
Right, but there again, there's that stereotype.
Yep.
There's not only the cheerleader stereotype, but there's what a gifted learner is supposed to look like. Gifted learners don't shake pom-poms. Well, you know what? Yeah, they do.
And that's what gets us, I think, that we talked about in class, stings us every time, is when you're looking at your class and saying, what does a gifted learner look like? What qualities are my kids exhibiting? I would think, hopefully, from our experiences, we would be less likely to say, you know,
exactly.
Oh, she's a blonde, has a little pip. She's not, you know, she's too active. But, you know, you kind of have to take a step back, and it's really hard to leave those behind when you're looking at, like, oh, he's got such a smart mouth. But he is saying some very intelligent comments with that smart mouth. Yeah. So I guess he, you know, could be considered gifted. But on the same note, I was thinking about when you're talking about CSI, the show Bones. And, you know, how now I remember reading an article like a year or two ago about how a lot of men are in crisis because females are being portrayed as so much smarter than them. Like, think about some of the commercials.
Oh, yeah.
And the wives are like, oh, you're such an idiot to their husband. And it's detrimental. There's detrimental to some male populations because they're like, wait, females are smart? Right. I think that's so funny that.
I mean, yes, of course females are smart. Hello.
Yeah, I mean, it works both ways.
Yeah, I mean, there's dumb guys out there too. There's just as many dumb guys as there are dumb women. There's just as many smart women as there are smart men. It goes both ways.
I think this kind of made me stop and think about, you know, your initial reaction visually after meeting someone. Of course, we all do it. We all categorize things that we see, whether it's a person, a place, a thing, or whatever. You immediately categorize it based on your experiences. So I think as teachers, we have to be very careful not to immediately file those children into certain categories based on how they look, how they speak, because even poor vocabulary may be more to do with the environment that they live in. They may know other words and say other words, but they speak a certain way to fit in, but they speak a certain way
have
to
a vernacular.
Yeah, right. Right. So we have to be very careful not to do that.
All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up right here, and that's week 3. We'll be back for week